Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I'm thrilled that today we have Erika here with us all the way from Norway, and she's a digital marketer. She owns a digital marketing agency, help clients really with social media. So, Erika, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tony, for having me here today and sending greetings today from Norway. And I do social media content creation, branding, templates. I'm also a course creator, and I help other business owners to grow on social media organically and support their social media journey.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for that wonderful introduction. And then on top of that, what inspired you to start this business?
I started back in COVID. So when the moment, like the time when it hit everyone, the wave where people lost their jobs, it was truly difficult time to find jobs. I remember even applying on LinkedIn, and for certain positions, they had like 2,000 applications. And I was like, okay, I'm not even trying. And I remember even now, like so many years later, I still get notifications. Oh, you were not successful. Like, gee, thanks after 5 years. But anyways, but during the time when I lost the job, I was working at a corporate job, sorry, events and marketing manager. But then I always wanted to go deeper into marketing. And during COVID, I had this amazing opportunity to join social media agency where I could, dive deeper into marketing. And there I learned everything about content creation for different industries. I think that was perhaps the best learning curve, the content that works, for example, for beauty brands, and then the different type of content that works for, let's say, artists. And after a year there, I felt that I learned everything, and unfortunately, there was no more place for me to grow. And then I thought, you kind of start analyzing things like, oh, they do this like that. I started making notes, and then I kind of identified the gaps where, like, the client expectation, and then the way they deliver. And I kind of identified the gaps, and I thought I can do this better. So I started freelancing, and after a year there, after huge success as a freelancer, I decided to start my own company. And now, almost 3 years later, I have loyal customers for over 2 years, like in total. I would need to sit and count like for how long we've been working together. And it actually, when I think about it, the company grew beautifully. And it also pushed me into a different position, not only to create content for businesses, but also to start teaching them. So, how to grow organically on Instagram? What are the strategies? What is it that actually works? And also, then moving to another part, because from the first course, my students were asking, like, we did this Q&A session, and I was showing how to create some kind of design on Canva, and they gave me idea. If you did Canva course, I would enroll. I would love it. And I listened, I did the course, and then a few months later I sent them the details and they enrolled. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, well done on that. And then on top of that, when it comes to your tips, for example, for our audience, if someone wants to actually learn a little bit more about how to grow organically on Instagram, like what tip can you share with our audience on that?
I think the very first thing that comes to my mind is also the worst advice. So we can start from the worst one, actually. Whoever tells you ever to buy followers, buy likes, run as fast as you can, because it's never the strategy to grow. And it's always tempting to go for that quick, quick get
Fix.
yeah, quick schemes. But it's actually against Instagram's guidelines that you can get actually penalized. They can remove you from Instagram if they find that you actually bought followers. But going now to the top tip is, especially, well, it comes to two places. So the very first thing is to build a habit. So often people come to me and they don't know what to do with their Instagram, and they don't have that habit. So when they log into Instagram, they don't know how to do that engagement. And when you tell someone, oh, you need to engage for like half an hour or 20 minutes, you will shock them. Like, how? What do I do? And it's always best to start small. So if you want to start engaging organically, which means reaching out to new people, liking their content, leaving comments, set yourself a timer, because when you give someone, a big goal like that, do engagement for half an hour, it looks big. So you can divide it. So for the first week, you can do it only for 10 minutes. Again, it's important to set the timer, because often we kind of start wondering, oh, this is interesting. We start reading and time passes. But start with the timer and start to do engagement, small, 10 minutes. Once you get into the habit, let's say after 2 weeks, then you can increase it to 15. Once you get used to 15, you can increase it to 20, because what helps the account to grow the most organically is that daily engagement. It's when you, of course, reply to your own comments and messages, but you also need to leave comments on other people's posts. You also need to engage with their stories. You also need to engage with their content. So the more you give to the community, the more you get back. And this is like the best tip for organic growth.
Wonderful. And so, who is your ideal client? Like, who do you usually help?
For me, my ideal client is, again, it comes to whether they need help on how to do things themselves, and also if they want to have someone do it for you. So these are kind of two different categories. But when we look at the content, let's say if you are a business owner, if you have, let's say maybe you have a skincare brand, but you don't have the time to actually sit there, create content, publish, post it, or record it, uh, even if you have no idea how to do it, then of course, this is where the social media content creator, myself, comes to help you to take that, huge task, because often when you don't know how to do it, it takes double the time. So this is when I step in to help to create content, to develop the strategy, to give recommendations and do everything for you so you have more free time. And then, of course, there are people who want to learn how to do these things themselves. They want to learn how to connect better with their, let's say, their ideal client, and they want to communicate and take conversations out of that. Then they can, of course, come to me and ask, how do I create content? How the post structure should look like? What is a hook? How can I create it? What is call to action? How to pick the right call to action phrase? So I do help both let's say groups of people, those who don't have the time and want something to and want someone to and they want someone to do that for you, and also the second group who want to do it themselves but they don't know where to get that help from, or they don't have that support, like where do I start?
Totally. And if someone wants to actually find out a little bit more about you or learn about your courses or connect to you, how they can do that?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm also on Facebook. So you can always send me a message on Instagram. It's very easy. Marketing with Erika. I'm there. You can watch my content. I share a lot of tips. My most recent post was something that I couldn't even choose myself. So I did a post on, for those of you who, let's say, want to pick elegant feed style on Instagram. And I gave some recommendations in terms of color and inspirational image. Oh my God, I was looking through my own post and I couldn't pick my favorite color, whether it was beige, whether it was like that Bordeaux color or dark green or olive. Uh, I couldn't even pick. So yeah, you can have a look at the tips there and you can always shoot me a message, and I'm happy to talk.
Wonderful. Yeah. So I'm going to share the links in the description of this podcast episode. And on top of that, like before we go, is there any question maybe that I didn't ask you? Maybe some idea, maybe anything else that you would like to share with our audience today?
Absolutely. I also have a group. So, well, if we put that in question, um, is there a private community, for example, of everyone who gets to learn from me? And I also do have Facebook uh, community there. So if you want more support, I share feature updates daily, tips for engagement, for content creation. I also go live answering questions. So you can also join the community, drop your questions. I will answer them. The community is there to answer them. And I'm also um, planning to move to Telegram now for even more personalized support. So there are not only the content, not only my DMs, but also the communities out there of like-minded people who perhaps went through the same, let's say, struggles, or through the same had the same issues as you. So not only you can get the answers, but you can also connect with people, to support each other.
Great. Thank you so much for being a guest today. Thank you all for watching and listening. And if you like this episode, drop us a like. I really liked it. So I will definitely like this episode because Erika is a fantastic guest. And if you liked it, also subscribe and share it with your friends and family. All the best and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.